Vipi wase Ndex hapa box-to-box FPL show Gameweek 20 preview. Imekuwa Gameweek ya wazimu. If you didn't see last night, West Ham walichapa Arsenal na I was killed on TikTok. Wase it was intense. It was live. Shout out to everyone on TikTok. The game recap is up now on YouTube. It's also up on TikTok and IG everywhere. Mpaka Facebook. Just go out and see it. Of course, the show is brought to you by Uber Eats. And guys, don't forget, tuko na box-to-box community pale WhatsApp. There's many groups. As long as you just go to the community, whichever spot you want, unaingia tu. Link iko hapo chini kwa description. So without further ado, nitaanza na Gameweek 19 vile tulifanya Gameweek 19, alafu tuingie certain topics hapo, tunataka kucover ma suspensions nini, alafu tuende kwa timu yetu, alafu tuende fixture by fixture. Aya, let's go. So Gameweek 19 tuliwai 45 points. Gameweek haikuwa mbaya sana, lakini pia haikuwa poa sana. Captain wetu angecome through, mazee maisha ingekuwa poa. Captain wetu alikuwa Saka, alitupatia 4 points pekee, na Josengo alicaptain Salah akawapatia 6. So it was good that the captain that was captain more ilikuwa Salah didn't give many points. Haaland was not playing this game week. And then obviously pale nyuma Dubravka alitupatia 2 points. Saliba na alitoka na 1 point after kuchapwa 2-0 na West Ham. Pedro Porro alitoka na assist, late assist in their game against Brighton. Alexander-Arnold alipata clean sheet and 3 bonus points actually, and a yellow card. So Trent is becoming a FPL asset slowly. Then obviously Son alipata pia assist, another late assist. Julian Alvarez had an assist as well. No, scored a penalty, and then Solanke came through na akafunga bao tukapata 45 points. Tukiangalia pale leagues, pale kwa ligi tumefika 44-23 kwa box-to-box FPL show league. Obviously green arrows everywhere. That is what you want, just slow consistency. Overall we have broken the 1 million mark. So now we are 9,999 in the world. And 900,999. And then we are 12,451st in Kenya. And that's how we're looking on our FPL in terms of leagues. I am moving on swiftly to FPL suspension. So as you guys know, we've crossed the halfway mark of the league. This is game week 19 that just passed. We have 19 more game weeks to go. So there's a slight change in what happens in terms of people with yellow cards. So kama uliwa yellow cards tano within the first 19 games, obviously because ulipata suspension yako. Sasa for example, mtu yote mwenye alipata yellow card game week 19 akiwa on 4 yellow cards, apate yellow atapata suspension ya 1 match. But akifika game week 20 na apate his 5th yellow card after game week 19, now that's game week 20 and beyond, doesn't get a suspension because your new threshold is 10 yellow cards. So it's 10 yellow cards after 32 games. So everyone who was on 4 yellow cards, ime reset, yeah? Not reset really, but now utakula suspension at 5, utakula suspension at 10 within the first 32 game weeks. So that's the small change that you guys need to know. A ban for picking up too many bookings must be served in the Premier League and not in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. So that's also a change that they made a few years ago. Looking at players who have the most yellow cards, these are already players who've already picked up 2 bookings, right? Who've already picked up a suspension. So the next, when they get to 10, watakula 2 match ban. Obviously, first with 8 bookings in Nicholas Jackson, and I think 7 of them zimekuwa decent. And then Joao Palhinha, 8 bookings as well. And then players on 7 bookings are Christian Nogard, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Gordon, Emerson, Edson Alvarez, and Mario Lemina. So obviously, any of these players, if they get to 10 yellow cards, watakula 2 match ban. There's a few more players, but it's quite a long list. We'll go over that in due course, but they're still 5 yellow cards away. So we'll only be doing as they get closer to that threshold of 10. So right now we have 8 and 7 players on 8 bookings and on 7 bookings. So basically all the teams have played 19 games. Only 2 teams have not played. Actually, only 4 teams are on 18 games. That's Brentford and Luton and City and Bournemouth. Obviously, Bournemouth-Luton, their game was suspended when Luton's captain Tom Lockyer had a cardiac arrest. All the best to you. Good news came that he left hospital and he had a successful procedure, so that's good news to hear. And then Man City and Brentford. Obviously, Man City walienda our Club World Cup, so hawako available kucheza game week yao. So those four any player on those 4 teams mwenye akona 4 yellow cards, akikula moja, before you itakuwa game week 19 now, then they will still get a 1 match ban. So that's the only thing you need to consider. And then the players now who are at risk of that, Man City, no one is on 4 yellow cards. Bournemouth, Senesi is on 4 yellow cards. Akikula 5th yellow in the next game week, anapata 1 match ban. Then Brentford, you have Christoph Ayer and Saman Godos. And then for Luton, you have Issa Kabore and Tom Lockyer. But Tom Lockyer, as we said earlier, the guy suffered a cardiac arrest. So I don't even think, this is the second time he's collapsed in 6 months. The guy might actually just have to retire. But I'm speculating. I don't know. I just hope the guy, health first, man. Health comes first. Then for game week 20, these are the players who are suspended. So 5 players picked up their 5 yellow cards in game week 19, which means they're ruled out for game week 20. You have Sheffield's Ahmed Zohic, the captain, and Gustav Ama. And then for Nottingham Forest, Sangare, Kulusevski will be absent for Spurs, and Lewis Dunk is out for Brighton. Then players who got red cards and will be suspended until game week 21 are Yves Bissouma, Boubacar Kamara, and Ben Mee. But Bissouma, remember, is also going to AFCON. So this is more or less he's done until like game week 24 or 5. All right, so we're going to go into captains, the people who I think are the best captains for this game week 20. Starting first with Mo Kudus. Kudus is playing Brighton at home. Brighton is a team that just has a lot of weakness from their left side. Obviously, Estupinian is back, but still, he's probably not going to play 90 minutes or probably not even going to start a game, having played just last night, right? So is a player who might come and change things a bit, but still, they're conceding lots of chances from that side. Pedro Porro, pia alikoz havoc jana. I know it was a set piece, but ilitoka huko because that's where the free kick came from. And then Brighton are the only team yet to keep a clean sheet in the Premier League. So the 2 people that are really going to benefit from this are definitely Kudus and Bowen. Kudus, I'm putting Kudus just over because he has a higher percentage of goal involvements in this West Ham team, and just his threat playing around Bowen, like the movement they have is just insane. So for me, number 5 captain for this week would be Kudus before he goes for AFCON. Next up, we have Oli Watkins. Oli Watkins is playing Burnley at home. Their fixture, when they played away, he got an assist. But the people who really shone in that game were Matikash and Musa Diaby. Then one thing you have to consider is Burnley concede the most away from home. Like, most of their goals just come from away from home. They've conceded the second most goals in the league at 38. They have conceded the third worst for shots in the box and aerial attempts. And these are places where Oli Watkins just shines a lot in terms of shots in the box. He has 50 in the league. He's just someone who's insane, right? Like, out of his 53 shots, 50 are inside the box. So Fox in the box, that's what he is. And then Burnley have also allowed the most shots from the center, which is the second most in the league. And where does Oli Watkins play? In the center. So for me, Oli Watkins is a good shout out for captain in game week 20. Next up is Julian Alvarez. And Alvarez is here because we are assuming Haaland will not be fit, or even if he's fit, he's not going to play a full 90. So that puts Alvarez in a very strong position. The last game they played, he got an assist, but he was playing off of Haaland as a second striker. This is now him as the main man up front. He's going to be playing Sheffield United at home, a team that has the 3rd worst expected goal difference in the league. But recently, ever since they got Chris Wilder, wanaka steady kiasi, but bado they conceded 3 goals against Luton. Like, ilikuwa tu just like that. Like, kupata na team yenye lazima wapack bus, they are proving to be very difficult to break down. Wame concede the second most shots in the box and second most headed attempts. Alafu set piece attempts pia, na tumeona Alvarez ni msee mwenye kwa set piece on set piece duty, and they've also conceded second most big chances, and they have allowed most of their shots. Out of all their shots, most of them zinatoka from the right side. Na huko ndo pali Alvarez anapenda inetwache. He likes dovetailing. Hiyo nimeforce. But yeah, anapenda kwenda hiyo side sana. So Alvarez is our 3rd option for captain. And then at number 2, we have none other than the boy from Brazil. Best striker. The best Brazilian striker in the Premier League. Richarlison. Richarlison anacheza Bournemouth at home. Hiyo itakuwa fixture ngumu. Bournemouth ni team yenye they might even go and win this game. You never know. They did it last year in dramatic fashion. But one thing Bournemouth wanafanya ni they concede, and away from home they concede a lot and they score a lot. So they're high scoring games at the end of the day. Richie is back in form. Amefunga I think 3 goals in his last 3 games. One of the biggest issues that Bournemouth are now could defend set pieces. Alafu they concede a lot of shots in the box and many shots from the left. So this is where Son normally is up on the left, but Richarlison is someone. The people who are really going to gain from this are any runners coming from deep going into the D, Akina Papsa, and mainly Richarlison. That is, in my opinion. So Richarlison for me is someone worth considering. He has 26 shots in the box, 32 shots in total, and 12 on target. 5 goals and 3 assists this season in 15 appearances. So someone worth considering for captain. And in first place, captain Wetu in first place. This is a risky. This is a punt. Not a punt. This is a punt. In first place, we have none other than Trent Alexander-Arnold. The man has 17 appearances, 2 goals and 4 assists. He's slowly coming into his own, and I think anapo roll a bit more juu. Pia Klopp ameona Salah ko karibu kwenda AFCON, so wacha ni changamshe msee kiasi. Liverpool have scored the second most goals at home. Wakiwa home wako tu on a different level. Wanacheza Newcastle at home. Newcastle yani this season away from home they have just moved from the best defense in the league to the second worst in the league. Like defensively wamekuwa tu a shell of themselves. That is also a big reason of that is injuries. Yeah, obviously they're getting Danban back, but I'm not a firm believer in Lascelles, just saying. They have the 4th worst defense in the league away from home. But overall, they have the 2nd worst defense, which is actually insane to think about. Away from home, wamecheza 9 games, they've won 1 and lost 6. And most of their chances are conceded from the left. So the 2 people worth considering there are Trent Alexander-Arnold and obviously Mo Salah. And yeah, those are our captain picks for game week 20. Moving on to clean sheet odds. The team with the highest chance of getting a clean sheet this week is Manchester City at 67%, and they also have a 69% chance of scoring 2+ goals. So Man City assets are a go this week, even though Man City have not kept many clean sheets. Next up is Aston Villa against Burnley. Aston Villa have a 48% chance of keeping a clean sheet against Burnley, and they have a 45% chance of actually scoring 2+ goals. Then next is the Gunners. The Gunners at 44%. Chance to keep a clean sheet against Fulham, followed by Chelsea, who play Luton away. And then the 2 teams at 38% are Liverpool and Crystal Palace. Liverpool play Newcastle, Palace play Brentford, who are just suffering with injuries. Injuries in our Maliza. Then, obviously, the teams that could score 2+ goals this week. Just Man City at 69%, and then Liverpool, Aston Villa 45%. They have a 45% chance of scoring 2+ goals, and Spurs at 40%. And those are our clean sheet odds and our teams that will score 2+ goals this week, or not will score, but are believed to score 2+ goals this week. So, kwa hayo machache, this is how our team looks like. We have decided not to make any subs. One big reason, actually, tulikuwa tuna eat sana. Mtuka Garnacho was looking nice for this game week, but we're going to remove Salah anyway after this game week because he's going for AFCON, and I'm going to do a whole video on potential replacements for Salah and Son. So it's worth considering trying to keep those 2 free transfers. And then another thing is that we don't have anyone suspended, or we don't have anyone injured. So let's just keep going. Let's just keep the team the way it is. And then next week, we'll be more flexible with the 2 free transfers. Obviously, you can activate your wildcard now, but again, too early for a wildcard. So this is how the team looks like. Dubravka, Pale Nyuma, and then Saliba, Pedro Porro, and Trent Alexander-Arnold in defense. In midfield, we have Salah, Son, Palmer, and Saka. And then up front, we have Alvarez, Solanke, and Watkins. So we have quite a number of... We have a good chunk of players playing at home. And on the bench, Udogi is the first sub, Gordon is the second sub. I still think Gordon would be a really good fit inside this team. Like, I don't know where he's going to fit. We really want to have Palmer play. There's really no one we can drop here. Alvarez's fixture is prime. We can't drop him. Solanke is on form. You can't drop him. Watkins has a good fixture as well against the Burnley team. As we said, concedes a lot of chances through the middle. So yeah, I think this is our strongest 11 going into game week 20. Oh, before I forget, our captain is none other than Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know it's a punt, but listen to me. Tumekuwa tukiget my green arrow. Despite our captains failing us the last 3 game weeks, I think imepata sijui 4, 6 na 6 za Salah 2 na Saka 1. Like captains wamekuwa tu akifail. So why not give Trent? Because Trent is his prime fixture, he's on form, he's a defender, he's bonus point magnet. Like regardless, hata akifungwa, it's more likely that he'll be around in there. And he's given back the last few weeks more than Salah. He's been more consistent over the last few weeks. So I think this is a nice fixture for him. And yeah, we've captained Trent Alexander-Arnold in this game week. Now, moving on to fixtures. These are the fixtures for game week 20. As I go to the fixtures, I'll give you potential FPL assets in every fixture. So we start off with Luton versus Chelsea. Luton, we're looking at Morris. And then for Chelsea, we're looking at Palmer, Nkunku, Sterling, and Malo Gusto, who is actually attacking quite much. And as long as Wameka Levi Colwill on the left side, Gusto is one who will be attacking from that defense. Aston Villa versus Burnley. It's just Aston Villa assets, mostly Watkins, Bailey, and Douglas Luiz. And then Crystal Palace, Brentford, we're looking at Eze and Olise for Palace, and for Brentford, Visa. Man City versus Sheffield, it's a go for all assets. Man City. Haaland obviously is a doubt, but if he's fit, he's definitely there. Alvarez, definitely there. Foden, and Bernardo Silva, who looks to ameanza kuchukua set pieces Man City over Alvarez. Alafu tukingia kwa game ya Wolves na Everton. Wolves of course tuko na Hwang Hee-chan, none other than the boy. Alafu mseme mkuwa ni mkimpraise the last 2 game weeks Mario Lemina, na for Everton Doucouré ndio mse wao. Alafu Nottingham Forest versus Man U, 2 people naangalia hapa kwa both, one from each team. Nottingham Forest, actually 2 from Nottingham Forest, naangalia Wood na Elanga. Alafu for Man U, Garnacho is proving to be a crazy asset. McTominay maybe, but chances are ataanza. Alafu Fulham versus Arsenal, William for Fulham, and then Arsenal, Saka, Odegaard, and then defenders or Arsenal center backs always seem to score from set pieces against Fulham. So Saliba and Gabriel are a go. Alafu Tottenham versus Bournemouth, tuko na Son, Richie na Kulu. Sorry, Kulu is not there. Kulu was suspended. So tunaangalia sana Son na Richie. Alafu pengine nani, Brennan Johnson. For Bournemouth, Solanke ndio mse. Ako form mbaya. Liverpool versus Newcastle. Just 3 players from Liverpool, Salah, Trent na Nunez. Alafu West Ham versus Brighton, tuko na Kudus, Bowen na Badman, João Pedro kutoka Brighton. And that's our show for FPL. Box to Box FPL show game week 20 preview. Obviously, show is brought to you by Uber Eats, and I want to see how you guys are doing. So in the comments, let me know how your team is doing, how your lineup is looking, what you think of our team, what you think of our captain, who is your captain. I want to know who your captain is. Obviously, pia like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Usisahau kama kawaida na nilishawa show tuko na Box to Box community. Msisahau kujoin, link kwa description. Tupatane hapo game week 21, and happy holidays. Peace.